Today, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a shelter out of some sticks, out of some limbs that I've cut out of my mother's yard. I'm just going to be using some rope and sticks and whatever else I can find that would make a decent shelter. But I'm not going to be using any tarps or any ponchos or anything like that. So check it out. Okay, so here's the frame that I built using the material that I described earlier. What I did was I just lashed and I lashed two limbs together on this side. I lashed two limbs together, and then at that point in time I laid this branch here, both of them, and lashed it on top using the excess of the string. And to get it to stand, I tilted the two sets of legs inward. That way the going. Now we'll pause until I get the rest of it together, and we'll see what it looks like then. Here is the same frame that we was just doing, me and my daughter, and it's starting to come to. I'm running out of resources to make this possible, but you kind of get the gesture here. What I've have added so far is a few more branches, and I've leaned those branches up against the supporting beam on the top. Leaned them in the angle here, and I took other branches that had leaves on them, crossed this way over those. This is not a shelter that would keep you dry unless you had really thick vegetation to put on your roof. I'm going to try to continue getting this done with the material that I do have, and but what it should look like if I run out of material is it should look like this side times 4 on front and back, leaving this space here open to crawl into. And here's what it looks like so far. It's pretty spacious. Got enough room to maneuver in there, at least crawl forward and backwards. Alright. Alright, so I'm back, and I'm through building this shelter. This is this is just a demonstration shelter. You kind of get the point, though. What your primary thing is to do when you're building a shelter is to keep warm, and that means keeping dry, and that's about it, really. You know, just keeping dry and staying warm. That's what your point of building a shelter would be. Now, this is a could be used for many things. If you're a hunter, this could be a great hide made of natural vegetation in your surroundings, and the deer won't see it coming. Great hide. Now let's take a look on the inside. Here's the front door, so to speak. You'll crawl in there, and let's do that now. You'll crawl in here. This is what it looks like. As you can tell, there are a few holes in this shelter. Like I said, this is my mom's yard. I was trimming down some trees, so I really don't have the greatest material to work with, but this would be a good hide if you're a hunter. It wouldn't keep you dry, that's for sure, but if you had thick vegetation like pine trees, even sometimes some really high weeds would be good. Now, before I turned the camera on, I came in here and trimmed up a little bit. Once you start doing this with the vegetation I was using, which is basically tree limbs, as you can tell, I had a lot of pieces sticking on the inside. I just took my pocket knife, came inside, and trimmed it up a little bit. But it is, for the most part, pretty sturdy. You'll have to work with it occasionally. You don't want to bump into it, and if you get really nervous about the thing falling on you while you're inside, you can come out and tie up the two ends with some string and stake it out. All you would need to do for that to happen is take some string from your center point here, string it up all the way down here, and stake it in. Take another stick, pound it into the ground tight to that stick, and then you would come to the other side and do the same. As you can tell, it's deep down in there. That's where it is. I like to have one door, so you can see this is where the other side would be. You wouldn't notice that. It's a really good hide. Alright, please leave some comments and subscribe to my channel for some upcoming survival tips and shelter building. And if you'd like to know how to tie up these things, I can leave a comment and I'll teach you how to tie logs together. Go ahead, leave comments and subscribe. Thank you guys, and check back.